Okay, the problem with that construct is that it's when the 1992 convention was drawn up, it just defined the developed countries. Everybody else, the leftover, was the developing world, and there was no criteria. So many of the developing countries that are actually quite rich are sticking to that idea that there's no criteria, and therefore they have no reason to graduate out of the developing country class. And of course, in the developed world, some countries are slipping back, and they should perhaps be demoted to a developing country status. And I think that notion of graduation between one level to the other level needs to be made very clear in that whole process, so that you don't just get a north and you don't just get a south. No? So you get a whole spectrum of criteria. You get perhaps 2 or 3 criteria, and you can graduate out, so that India would be on notice if its emissions went up to a certain level per capita or whatever. Then it would have to take on climate change obligations. And if another country had a recession, it would have fewer obligations. Some kind of a graduation system would be necessary, but this doesn't take away from the main argument that most developing countries feel that the compact that was made between North and South in 1990 to 1992, that has been not kept. So the global compact at that time was the North would lead, the South would follow. And that, unfortunately, is seen as a betrayal of an agreement made between the North and the South as a group. Now, whether you want to count China as a South or not, there's still at least 120 developing countries that are pretty poor.